Morning. Back to the Earl Grey with almond milk and xylitol. I'd like to report that my blood glucose level is 4.6 right now, mmOLs. So I'm in ketogenic range. That's what you get when you go on an 8-hour eating window. Okay, so this video is important to me. I just decided to do it this morning. I look crazy. I look nuts. I'm just going to acknowledge that, and that's okay. I'm going to love myself for looking nuts. I can't change the way I look. I can change how I act. That's within my control. And on that point, I was so upset this morning. Frustrated, devastated. Because my daughter just will not cooperate with medical treatment. And she needs it so badly. And she has a person who's willing to pay for private medical care right now, who cares about her very much. Because I don't have the money to pay for her private medical care. If I did, I would be happy to do so. I'd have no problem with it. But she won't cooperate. She won't go get lab tests. She won't let us contact her. And so, had a very frustrating interchange with her on WhatsApp this morning and begged her to go get the labs tomorrow. Otherwise, we have to cancel a doctor's appointment she has in 6 days because he won't have any test results to discuss in the meeting to give her any help. I literally flew past the stratosphere. Frustration. I'm heartbroken. I'm desperate. It's desperation. And, she's hurling, saying I'm killing her, saying I'm a monster, saying I'm a villain, saying I don't do anything for her, that I'm letting her die on the street when I have a perfectly good 2-bedroom, bright, clean, hardwood floor, all new appliances apartment for her in one of the best parts of Los Angeles on the west side. And she won't stay in it because she thinks it's poisoning her. And we've gotten asbestos testing and mold testing done, and they're both clean. And she said, well, you haven't done lead. And I said, well, then I'll do lead. I said, if I do lead and it's clean, will you stay there? And she said, no. So it's a no-win. Not possible to win. And then I'm failing her. I'm letting her die. I'm making her die. I want her to die. I'm a villain. I'm a monster. And absolutely nothing I give or nothing I do will ever assuage that perception. So I was so frustrated this morning. Just beyond. And then I yelled at a guy. It's just a fresh bitch to this guy. Because he was trying to make me walk through a cloud of dust from a leaf blower, and I could have just waited there and shut my trap. But I wanted to brawl, so I was a bitch. So then I had to go buy pineapple and bring him back a peace offering and apologize for being a bitch. So that goes back to goal number 1, which is to cultivate an inner energy environment where my energy field will give people around me the feeling of grace when they're around me. Like I said, it's the most difficult goal that I have. So it was a very rough morning. I spent all day yesterday trying to get word to and from my beautiful daughter about being taken to the lab Monday morning to get the rest of these tests finished. and I allowed it to ruin my entire day. I'll say ruin 90% of my day, because I did have 10% at the beach, at the holy place where negativity is not allowed. So I had 10% of the day where I was in bliss. Sorry, I'm shaking. Trying to perch my elbow on my knee so I can do this. So that's all a preface for the tumult and disturbance of this morning. Which my bun is pretty much perfectly reflecting right now. So all is well. And while I was out getting high-dose liposomal vitamin C, magnesium, and D3, K2 this morning, and a new pair of flip-flops, I reflected on my part. That's key. On my part, my communication style is not the appropriate communication style for my daughter. I know this intellectually. I don't know how to change it, and I want to change it. I want her to know that I love her, that I'm proud of her, that I admire her, and my entire heart belongs to her. I want her to know this. She doesn't know. And in my desperation to get her this medical treatment, I'm using communication modalities that do not work for her. And yes, I have the schmancer. I have the schmancer at the moment. I have my own health issues that are emergency at the moment. Okay, that's there, but she is sick. She is mentally ill. Or she has, let's say, psychiatric illness. And the way that I communicate doesn't work for her. And I know about this Javier Amador, LEAP method. I know about it. I've read about it. I've watched all the videos. I want to do it. My modality has to have some kind of force behind it. And that's what doesn't work for her. My modality is based in desperation, and it doesn't work for her. I need help. So while I was out kind of digesting all the shit that happened regarding all this unsuccessful communication with my daughter, and the fact that she's sacrificing and sabotaging, really, an opportunity for paid for private medical care that she needs extremely much. What I wanted to do is make a video. I want to talk about, it's going to be hard. I'm going to cry, so fuck it. You're just going to have to deal with me crying. I want to make a video about all the times in our lives together that I'm grateful for. And it's going to be really hard because it makes it hurt worse. Because I want those times back, and they're never coming back. Because the times that I'm grateful for are so beautiful. They're so beautiful and perfect that you can't even describe in words how beautiful and perfect they are. My heart is broken. But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. So, from the very beginning, I already told you a couple videos back about how she came and she showed herself to me before she was born. So I'm not going to repeat that story. It was beautiful. Go back. There's a video called My Daughter Visited Me Before She Was Born. That's the title of it. You can hear that story. That was the first miracle with this beautiful girl. The birth was traumatic, so I'm not grateful for that day. I'm grateful that it brought her to me, brought her through me, I should say. But it was traumatic. Oh Christ, it was traumatic. She was like 10 days overdue. I was alone. I didn't have a partner. And it was scary. I was scared. It was very scary to go through that. No mom and dad, no partner, no nobody. There was a friend of mine who said she would come to the birth, and the day before I went into labor, I was 10 days overdue, and I had an appointment the following morning at 4 a.m. for an induction. And I was absolutely out of my tree. I thought I was going to have a natural childbirth, so I didn't want to get induced. So my doula told me to take a tablespoon of castor oil and walk all day. And so that friend of mine came over. I took a tablespoon of castor oil. I was in Los Angeles at the time. And we walked from Culver City all the way down to Playa del Rey. We walked down towards El Segundo. We walked back. We walked up to Marina del Rey. We walked back. And we walked back up to Culver City. Oh no, actually, I was living in Laurel Canyon at the time. So we must have driven down there to the beach. And we drove and we walked for miles. We walked for 10 miles. Nothing happened. Didn't go into labor. We got back to my little cottage in Laurel Canyon. It was like 10 at night by the time we got done having dinner and kind of chatting. And then I took another tablespoon of castor oil before I went to bed. And then I got into the bed, and about 20 minutes later, I felt her moving, like twirling, and her head went pow against my pelvis. Like literally, I heard her just rear back and go pow, and it was like pop. I heard a pop, I felt a pop, and the water broke all over the bed. And that first labor pain was a hot, molten sword through my abdomen. It took all the breath out of my body. And I crawled out of bed on my hands and knees, and I crawled to the toilet, and I sat on the toilet. And that first labor pain lasted for 10 minutes. It didn't stop for 10 minutes. I was screaming, and my friend rushed up. I was upstairs, and she was sleeping on the couch downstairs. My friend ran up the stairs. I told her what happened after I got my breath back, which took like literally 5 minutes. Told her what happened. She went and got her minivan. I was having the same intensity of labor pains of that degree every 90 seconds. It was like straight full bore labor straight away. I couldn't walk. I had to crawl down the stairs with her helping me. 2 sets of stairs. got into the minivan on my hands and knees. I couldn't sit upright because the pain was, the words to describe it are not available. And so she drove me all the way to Good Samaritan Hospital from Laurel Canyon. It's not that close. On my hands and knees, screaming. I was like, I'm sorry, I had to scream. And I remember I was looking down because I was on my hands and knees in the back of the minivan, and she pulled up in front of the hospital. I saw a guy, I saw shoes, I saw his shoes on the ground, and he pulled me out and got me. I was on my knees facing backwards on the wheelchair because I couldn't sit down, and I just watched his feet run me into the hospital, and I got in there. And I thought, I picked Good Sam because they had birthing tubs, and I thought I was going to have this natural childbirth. No. No, 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 no. And then my whole birth got fucked up because no one could reach my doula. She didn't come till hours later. I don't know where the hell she was. She didn't come up. It was like 11 o'clock at night. She didn't show up till the sun came up. I was like, dude, what the fuck did I pay you for, bro? I don't know what she was. Everything was in the shitter by the time she showed up. Anyway, I got in there and I was screaming, and the nurse was like, lady, this is a maternity ward. People are trying to sleep. I'm like, that's nice. I was in so much pain. I cannot come with words. This pain was splitting me right in half down my body. It felt like Alien 2 was going to pop out of my belly any second. So this is where everything got fucked up. They ran and got, what was it? Starts with a D. It wasn't Dilaudid. It wasn't Dilaudid. I'll think of it later. It was some sort of narcotic with this D. They gave me a shot of that. And that allowed me to get off my hands and knees and flip over and sit on the bed because that helped me. That got me back on. I was still in a ton of pain, but it got me back to where I could breathe again. And then they were like, we're going to do an epidural. And I was like, yes. So that's where the whole affair went to the shitter. I was all drugged up. And my fucker son of a cunt obstetrician told them to delay labor, to medicinally delay my labor because he didn't want to get up in the middle of the night. So that's where they fucked it up too. Fucked it up again. This could be how my daughter emerged with autism. It could be. So I laid there on the birth monitor until sunrise when motherfucker, Dwight was his name, motherfucker showed up on his leisure after he had a good night's sleep and a cup of coffee. Motherfucker. Doctors are bad. They're bad. They're not good. Western doctors are not good. Okay, so that, I have a resentment I need to deal with there. That just popped up. So then he shot me up with Pitocin when he was good and ready to show up to get it going again, to get my labor, my contractions going again. Everything was fully dilated the whole night. I was ready to give birth many hours earlier, and he delayed it so he could have a good night's sleep. Then I pushed for probably like from, I guess it was 6 a.m. through till about 1 p.m. And he showed me, he put a mirror in front of my vagina, and he showed me how her head was twirling like this because she couldn't get out. She had a very big head. It turned out she was 11 pounds. So then they came and they were like, here's the papers for the emergency C-section. You have to sign them. And I cried for 2 hours. I couldn't stop crying. I was really upset. I didn't want to have a C-section. So I finally signed them, and they rolled me in, and I had the C-section. She came out. The C-section was very traumatic. As soon as they pulled her out of me, my body started convulsing, and I couldn't stop convulsing. It was totally involuntary. So I was convulsing so much, and they showed her to me. She was beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. And they called out 10 pounds, 15.5 ounces. So she was a half an ounce away from 11 pounds. And I convulsed for like 2 hours. And I had given strict instructions that they could not remove her from my sight ever, because I did not want all the shots and the vaccinations and all the shit. I had severe warnings about all of that. So they thought I was a nutso. Thank you, Gurmukh Khalsa, for teaching me that during my pregnancy. I don't know. They could have easily given her a shot. They had many different occasions they could have given her a shot right there in the delivery room. But anyway, so, and then she was there. We were there alone. She was beautiful. I remember that first night in the hospital. She was with me. I was holding her, and the nurses kept trying to take her away, and I was like, fuck no. No, fuck no. You're not taking her. And I remember there was this big, I had my own private room, which was nice, and then there was this big oblong window. I had Cobra from my movie studio job, so I had top of the line medical insurance. Thank God. Thank you, God. If you're there. Thank you, universe. Anyway, that night, there was a full moon on the night of her birthday. And it was so bright. Our room, our hospital room with all the lights off, was glowing pearly white with moonlight. And I was like, look, I don't have to tell you mothers this, because if you've had a child, you know this already. I don't need to try to express to you in words what happened, okay? But I was like, okay, now it is my responsibility forever and ever and ever to not only keep this precious, perfect, flawless, delectable, gorgeous, adorable being alive, but I have to give her all the things to help her thrive, help her succeed. And it was trauma, man. It was just fucking trauma. So I'm not, yeah, for sure. In that moonlit room, oh yeah, there was love. Undeniable love. But at that time, I was so agnostic that I was on the borderline of atheist, so there was no spiritual assistance in that moment at all. I had become agnostic sometime before that. And so that was the story of my beautiful girl's birth, and I can't include that as one of the moments I'm grateful for, even though she came through. You know, it was trauma, and I think I just came up with this morning while I was shopping for liposomal vitamin C, that childbirth is designed to be extremely painful and extremely traumatic, so that the mother is trauma bonded to the infant when they come in. And I believe we are trauma bonded to our children because of the trauma of childbirth and the pain of it, and you know, you don't know if they're going to make it. I mean, it's trauma, fucking trauma, terrifying. And I think that we are trauma bonded as mothers to our children, and that's why there's so much unconditional love, because we're actually trauma bonded. I'm going to speak for myself. I am trauma bonded to my daughter. And that is why no matter how abusive she ever gets with me, no matter all the vindictive ways she tries to find to hurt me, no matter how abusive she is to me on a daily basis, I'm gonna always love her and be stuck to her side, because I'm never gonna give up. I'll never give up trying to help her. It's just not something I can do. So I will not be able to get all the moments that I'm grateful for that were just so beautiful and sublime out in a YouTube video, but I'm gonna get the highlights that come to mind. Most of all, that first time she came to me before she was conceived, which I mentioned is described in that other video. Try to think of the next one. Yeah, it was trauma from day one because she wouldn't eat. She was sleeping through all her feedings, so it was just, we hit the ground running with trauma from day one. And you know what? I'm not going to diminish what other parents go through when their children are born with, life-threatening heart defects and all kinds of other things. My heart goes out to everyone. But she wouldn't eat. Or she would eat like maybe 2 half-an-hour stints per day, and she would sleep through everything. So I'm trying to think of the first moment I can remember. I'm sure there were moments in there, guys, that I don't remember right now. I do remember having her in the baby Bjorn. We still lived in that little cottage in Laurel Canyon. And I remember taking our walks through the canyon with our 2 dogs. And those moments were sublime. They were beautiful. So grateful. And the dogs loved her well, not the Rottweiler. The Rottweiler was jealous. But Vita May, she loved her. And Piggy came around. Piggy did come around eventually. I had this huge Jeep Cherokee, a giant, huge gunmetal gray Jeep Cherokee that was like lurched off the ground, that I had gotten from when I was with my prior boyfriend, right before I got pregnant. I don't know if I told you about him or not. It's another story for another time. And we would put Piggy and Vita in the back of the big, giant Cherokee, and we would go to the mountains. We'd go up to Idlewild. This is when she was older. She wasn't an infant at this time. I remember we stayed in a haunted cabin once. But going on those adventures with her and the dogs she loved it. The dogs loved it. Everybody was happy. It was a beautiful time. And we would walk around Idlewild with the dogs. I remember her first birthday. By then we had moved down to Culver City. And we had a big party in the front yard of our little house. Big, for me, it was like 15 people. And I baked her that cake, and of course she smashed the cake and destroyed the cake, and it was adorable. She was so sweet. And about a month after that, she said her first words. And also a month after that, she started to walk. She walked for the first time. And it was so fun to buy her adorable clothes, man. She was set. She had beautiful clothes. She is, but she was also as an infant so beautiful that buying her beautiful clothes was such a joy. To see her just gorgeous, gorgeous, guys. I can't tell you. She had this strawberry blonde hair and bright blue eyes and cherubby cheeks and just angelic, man. I can't tell you guys how gorgeous she was. It was just, oh God, the love I have for her. The love I had for her then and the love I have for her now. It was so fun buying her beautiful clothes. She looked so beautiful. Beautiful outfits. I'm so grateful for these moments of sublime joy with her. I was so blessed that she came through me. I'm seeing her in my mind right now. That's why I'm quiet. I'm just seeing how she was. How she was so perfect. I'm only going to talk about the moments that brought me gratitude now because when she was 2, she was diagnosed, and that was really hard. This one time, so she got like all these one-on-one therapists and stuff after she was diagnosed. And she was going to this preschool in Santa Monica, a private preschool. And the one-on-one aide would go with her to preschool. And this aide's name was Lara. I often wonder where Lara is now. And so Lara was with her in preschool every day. For the whole day, she had a one-on-one aide at this preschool in Santa Monica. And I bless that preschool and the woman who owned it. I want to say thanks to her now. She's now passed on, but I don't want to give away the name of the school, so. So speech was a big thing. Expressive and receptive communication was a big thing with the diagnosis. And my daughter had a lot of one-on-one speech therapy going on. 40 hours a week of Greenspan behavioral therapy with Lara, a lot of occupational therapy because she didn't have bilateral coordination. And so Lara was with her all the time, you know, at preschool, and she was very aware of the echolalia and this and that and the other. And this woman who owned the preschool would round up all the kids a couple times a year on Valentine's Day, and I think at Hanukkah, Christmas time as well. And we would all go down to this convalescent home, I guess. It was for seniors. Yeah, a convalescent home about 1.5 miles away. And she would call them the grandmas and the grandpas. This lady who owned the preschool would say, we're going to go sing for the grandmas and the grandpas. And they would rehearse the kids for weeks before we would go sing for the grandmas and the grandpas. And so it was like a year in probably to preschool. My daughter was probably about 3.5, going on 4. And so they went. We all went. It was a big room. It was a big one. In Santa Monica, there was a good 150, 200 people there for this thing. And most of them were the grandmas and the grandpas, you know, and then there were the children in the front, and then the parents and the teachers were in the back. And so Lara and I were standing there, and the kids started singing. It was really nice. And then they gave my daughter the microphone. She stepped out and she sang a solo. she sang a solo song with the piano and the kids backing her up, the chorus in the back backing her up, and she came out, and I remember she was wearing these jeans, and she had a long sleeve t-shirt with a rhinestone heart in the middle, and her hair was so beautiful. It was long and wispy and blonde, corn silk color, and she stepped out with her expressive and receptive language delay. She sang the most beautiful song with a smile. She did it with she did it with attitude. It was so fucking beautiful. And Laura and I just cried and cried and cried and cried and cried, and we held each other. Oh God. So grateful for my daughter. That was a big one. And we had surf trips to Mexico. She learned how to surf when she was about 6, 7 years old. And we went on surf trips to Mexico we went several times throughout her childhood. And I mean, I couldn't index all the moments of sublime beauty and joy in those moments and those trips. But one time, we're in this very, very remote little surfing town. And you had to walk about a mile from where we were staying to get to town to have dinner. Maybe a mile and a half, 2 miles. Wasn't that close. And I remember this one night, we left our place where we were staying. She was probably about 6 at the time, 6 or 7. And we left where we were staying to go to town to get dinner. And it was pitch dark. And the sky was absolutely filled with crushed diamonds. And it's hot. It's tropical. And the jasmine were in bloom. And the air was just thick as cream with jasmine perfume. And we were just walking hand in hand down this road, this dirt road, towards the town. And these fishermen pulled over. They were coming in their rusted out pickup. And they pulled over and offered us a ride, and we jumped in the back. And we stood up. We stood up, kind of holding on to the cab of the truck as it bumped along this dirt road, and the wind was in our hair. And I looked down at her. She had a look of absolute joy on her face. She was in heaven. She was so happy. This is a moment I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. It was so good. It was so good. It was so beautiful, my girl. If you're watching this, we had beautiful times. We had beautiful times. We had really good times. I'm so grateful for you. I feel like I don't deserve your beauty. And we would go surf at Old Man's, San Onofre too. I can't list the amount of times that I went surfing with her at Old Man's, and it was so transcendent, guys. It was just heaven on earth. She was a good little surfer, and we'd paddle way out. Whew. We'd paddle a half a mile offshore at Old Man's. and surf those rolling Waikiki type waves. Were so perfect for her. And water, you know, the water would be glassy and sparkling, and just watching her pop up and surf those waves, man, the smile on her face, oh my gosh, she was so happy, so engaged. There's so many more times. You know, she's an animal rights activist, and there were so many times I watched her give speeches, speaking out for the animals, where I was just melting with pride. There's not enough room on a video to say all the times that I had that just split me in half with utter joy and awe and gratitude for her beauty and perfection. And now I could just go on for hours, you know, I could go on for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. And yes, the gratitude and joy outweigh all the frustration and devastation and pain and heartbreak of what's going on now. I was brought here to have this person come through me. I know that. But now I want specifically you to know, my daughter, that you are perfect. You always have been perfect since the day you were conceived. Since before you were conceived. You are perfect, and I just, God, I pray in this life that you somehow get around to seeing your perfection somehow. That you can see it somehow. So you can cooperate with medical care, and you can cooperate with therapy and mental health care, and bring the world the gifts that you have, which are just so immense. You are so talented. You're gifted and talented, and you're here for a reason. You came here just like I was brought here so you could come through. You were brought here for a universally profound reason. I hope you see your perfection someday. I love you so much. The words are stupid. It's just doesn't express how much I adore you. I love you so much. I could go on for hours about all the moments we've had where I'm so grateful for you. Please realize your divinity and your perfection. Please realize it soon. Please get in touch with it soon. The world needs you. There's never been a moment, no matter how bad my communication style is, and no matter how inappropriately I fucking act, because I can't calibrate right to communicate with you the way that you want and the way that you need, and I want to, and I don't know how, and I'm trying. I'll keep trying. I love you, my dear girl. I always will, and I'll be with you forever. Even if you're watching this after I'm gone, I'm still with you. Always with you. I'll be smelling your skin, smelling your hair, feeling your pulse, feeling your breath. For eternity, I'll never leave you. I love you.